Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the North American Apprentice Round of 8 broadcast. We are here today bringing you guys the final best of 5 of the day. It is going to be Silky taking on Epic. It should be a phenomenal TVZ. As we'll go ahead and head on into it, guys, here for game 1 of this fantastic best of 5. Down to the bottom right-hand side from Storm Gaming, he is Epic. His opponent up in the top left, also from Storm Gaming, it is Silky. Very talented Zerg player. Yeah, I really have no idea why it is stuttering like that. My usage is very low. Seems Chrome is sucking up a bunch. Why are you sucking up so much, Chrome, you greedy hog? Okay, that's better. Alright. So, Silky versus Epic, set to be a phenomenal showdown here. See if they can live up to the expectations of their names here. Silky, I think, expected to make round of 4 at least, whenever you're... Well, or at least, you know, when you consider collegiate players, Silky is definitely one of the best. Epic has been having a very phenomenal year. Had some pretty consistently good showings at a lot of these tournaments, and I think overall it's had a better year than Silky. I'm trying to think if that's accurate. I think so. I think I feel safe saying that. I love this drone skin. That drone skin is really cool. I don't think I've seen that one before. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. I like it. Epic sending his Reaper across, getting a Marine behind it. Factory starting up for him as well. Playing this pretty by the book so far. Third hatch going to be able to get down safely for Silky. Maybe. It's getting pretty close. Let's see. Reaper is going to go down, so it looks like it will. Hatchery does go down safely. The Reaper is just going to try and look for a kill if it can. Alright, so Silky is able to get his Creep Tumor up. He's able to get his third hatchery down, both uncontested by that Reaper, which is a very nice state of affairs for him. Very comfortable start to this game. Okay, so with the reactor Hellion coming out now for Epic. First two going to be making their way over there. Ooh, the Reaper gets surrounded. Nice grab. Very nice grab for Silky. Yeah, that Reaper is such an important part to this. Because of its ability to regenerate health, it's used as a tank for the front of these Hellions. It allows them to stay alive for a significantly longer period of time. And Epic is actually going to go ahead and not commit more heavily into those Hellions. He's only going to make 4 and swaps that reactor onto a barracks that's getting built. So definitely wanted to play a more bio-heavy game. That's going to be matching up against Ling Bane from Silky. Interested to see how this will play out as straight up bio versus Ling Bane isn't something you see super often anymore without a heavy Hellion presence. It's relatively unusual these days, at least in the games that I've been covering. 39 to 53 is that worker count overall. Okay, Hellions coming up now. Here through the center, these 3 queens are coming down. Creep continuing to get spread very nicely by Silky. All thanks to he is doing a phenomenal job with this creep. Oops. So I spin the screen a little too far. I mean, look at that. He has already covered so much ground. And as these Hellions are trying to find their way around, going to be unable to do so. Clearing out more of this creep. The queens going to be a little slow to respond, but they should be able to reestablish that no problem. Lings are nibbling away at the rocks down here, trying to work their way through if they can. We should be able to open that up. Going to be denying that tank spot that we've seen used so many times, a couple times today as well. Give them that extra attack path. Ooh, could have surrounded those Hellions, but opts to let them live another day. A double drop. Ooh, this could be very dangerous. So Vikings coming around, going to be targeted down this Overlord. So drawing attention over there, drawing those queens over to that position as well. Now the Hellions come in down on the bottom left side, drawing those Lings and Banelings over there. And now the double drop strikes. Moving in towards the third base, trying to find these workers. Okay, and they start to drop like flies. Quite a few going down there, 8 in total. As he continues to fight this 62 to 71, that worker count. A nice pickup from Epic to get him out of harm's way. Silky taking it on the chin there, but did lose some workers for that. Lost some workers and was able to clear out, but was able to clear out that Viking and the Hellions. So not the worst series of events there for Silky. It's now the Ling Bane catches those Marines, gonna force them to pick up once again. So Epic's harassment here, not really doing what he was wanting it to, not getting the same success that he was looking for. Infestation Pit finishing up for him shortly as his Hydras now available to produce. Going to start up his +2 Carapace, +2 melee perhaps. Give those Zerglings a little bit of extra bite, or perhaps maybe he'll go for +1 melee, missile instead. Now that he is contributing a lot more Hydras to this composition. Overseer making his way down here. Getting some good vision of this mineral line as the Lings make their way back around the right-hand side. Okay. Finding this drop again. This drop is just trading out as best it can against as many Lings as possible. And has done a pretty decent job. 26 in total have fallen. He's managed to kill 14 creep tumors in total. It's not horrible. Though the creep spread from Silky is still just astronomical. I mean, this is so good by him. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Oh, here comes Silky. Thought about going down that ramp. He's a little far out. I think that creep spread is there to catch him, and he will go ahead and get himself to safety. Splitting up here, starting to cancel some of those Baneling cocoons. They're not ready just yet. And does he have centrifugal hooks? Not yet. Oh, yes, he does. Excuse me. He does have centrifugal hooks. Okay, let's see how these Banelings do. Oh my goodness, it's so clumped. Everything is so clumped. Everything is exploding. Oh my god. Is rolling into carnage there. Silky with no fear, and perhaps evolving some fear would be good for this swarm of Zerg. My goodness. Learn a little common sense. Running up that ramp into so many Widow Mines, a dangerous proposition, and they paid the price as Silky sits on about 67 army supply, waiting for that Spire to finish on the back side of this. Fortunately for him, Epic is positioned in a place where doesn't have immediate access to any hatchery just yet, right? He's going to have to go through the positioning of this army to get to this hatchery on the left-hand side, or he'll have to go around and mine this out, or, do some medevac shenaniganry to get to this hatchery in the top right, meaning his larva production for now is safe, meaning his income is safe as well. The adrenal glands being taken for Silky. Back in his main, as Epic comes down the ramp, looking to clear out more of these creep tumors, looking to open himself up a path to get to these bases without having to go through creep. Ooh, and the Hydras on the flank, they're looking for those tanks, but a lot of Banelings just popped there for almost no gain. They take down the one tank, but those Baneling connections were very much suboptimal. Can Epic take advantage of now a lack of Banelings? Only 4 available at the moment for this army of Silky. The rest of his army is all in Lings and Hydras. This bio is pushing forward, and it's going to go ahead and just trade out with this. 2-2 is done, but only +2 Carapace is available for these Hydras. Meanwhile, a big drop up in the main base. Killing a few here. So he did kill a decent amount of workers. Sorry, guys, they didn't make these games the game hard, so I'm having a little hard time. We're talking about exactly how many workers are killed. The Widowmine shots are brutal onto his own bio. Oh man, a good drags by those Zerglings. They are able to push that back. Meanwhile, though, the Greater Spire went down. He was able to take it out while it was transforming. But this one drop, and it even stays alive. 15 HP on that medevac. Oh, it's flying right into a Spore Crawler, though. That's unfortunate. We salute you. Oh, hey, nice awareness. Epic. Not very many Terrans would ever catch that. Good job. A few Corruptors getting taken out here. Those will be the last ones that we'll see for a bit because that Spire is still getting rebuilt. And hey, it actually manages to wiggle around that medevac, that Spore. Nice job. So keeps that alive. He is also securing his 5th base now over on the right-hand side. Equal on bases with the Zerg player. It always feels good, but look at this creep spread. My god, it's outside of his natural base at the 11.5-minute mark. That is insane. A lot of Zerglings coming up. They are going to be able to force a cancel on that right-hand base, and the Marines doesn't look like they'll be able to catch these Zerglings. They'll escape unscathed. Really nice map movements here by Silky as the creep allows them to have such a rapid response immediately to the other side of the map. A bunch of Hydras coming down here as he knows that bio nowhere to be found. They're up in the top center. And they have cleared themselves a path with no creep, but will they be able to take advantage of it in time? The Hydra's moving in back into position down on the bottom side. The Lings are all the way on the other side of the map, still at that 5th base location. And there are 3 command centers at a time being built right now. So Epic doesn't really care about securing the location at the moment. He takes down an extractor. He's looking to take down this hatchery if he can. And it's looking like Silky's giving it up here. He's kind of backing off. He needs to decide, though. He's kind of half-and-halfing it right now, and it is not the hokey pokey. You know, he needs to be either in or out. The Lings on the other side were able to kill a decent amount of workers in that mineral line. Overall resources lost, still heavily in favor of Epic right now. As this bio continues to push up this ramp, he was able to clear out that Queen. Here come the Hydras in the back, trying to find those tanks, trying to open this game up for the rest of his composition here, and he's just not having a lot of luck. The bio is trading out so efficiently, and the Widowmines get a great shot, and that's going to be GG here in game number 1 as Epic will strike first in this best of 5. Future won last match. He won 3-1 over Disc in that round of 8 matchup. And I believe he faces the winner of this series. Let me double check that. Yeah, so Future won 3-1. He'll face either Silky or Epic. The other semifinal is Raze versus Asuna. Once that gets updated on Wikipedia, I'll probably end up doing it after this stream. World of Sleepers going to be map 2 here. As we eventually get it to load us in the game. Slowly but surely. Alright, and here we are for game number 2, down on the bottom left-hand side from Sidestorm Gaming. In the blue, our Terran player, it is Epic. And in the top right, in the red, also from Sidestorm Gaming, he is Silky. Looking to have a bit of a better showing here in game 2 than in game number 1. Just kind of never was really able to make anything happen, you know? couldn't really find his groove, wasn't ever able to do make things happen, is I guess how I'll phrase it. He was always having to be reactionary. He got caught very much off guard by what Epic was doing. Epic was just able to kind of dominate the play space, right? And though Silky had a lot of map presence due to the phenomenal creep spread that he had, he was unable to make it happen, make consecutive harassment attempts happen, right? He had the opportunities to go for these counterattacks and then just wouldn't find enough damage. If he had been able to utilize that creep highway he had connecting the third base. While I'm talking about this, guys, there has been a pool that came down very early, and there's already 6 Zerglings. So I don't want to focus too much on the last game, because this is going to be quite an aggressive start, as Silky will be looking to, at the very least, kill the SCV building this natural command center. Epic making his way up towards the top right, trying to get some scouting information, but he's going to not see any of these Zerglings. They'll all be past him by the time he sees them. The first 6 already on the bottom side, nearing that natural base, and Silky does show the last 2. Gonna make sure he kills this SCV, not let it hang around. And the rest of the Zerglings grouping up, and they're going to start to head towards that low ground. But Epic is building his expansion on the high ground here, so there's not going to be a ton that these guys will be able to do. This is a very smart choice from the blue Terran, as he will be able to keep this safe much easier than trying to defend the low ground. So, double Hellion production will be starting up now for Epic, as he's going to try and respond to that heavy Ling presence up in the top left. Silky doing a nice job, splitting off just 1 Zergling, leaving the rest out of vision. So Epic doesn't 100% know where the rest of those Lings are, right? What exactly they're up to. Denying as much information to his opponent as possible, as this Reaper is now going to head across in the name of information. Ooh, might be able to get that Creep Tumor. It's a little healthy. Yeah. A little bit too far along for him to be able to get that. Ooh, the Hellions tried to come down the ramp there, and they did end up getting surrounded. So a nice pickup for these Zerglings, and the plan worked. He kept those Zerglings hidden, was able to ambush the Hellions that thought they would have an easy time securing the low ground position, and instead found themselves dead. The Fusion Core on the way behind him now for Epic. He's looking to go into that Battlecruiser tech, 90%. I guess it could just be for a very fast Liberator range, some weird cheese, but would be very weird, and I would not have ever seen that before. Should be Battlecruisers. It's been a very good opener for Terrans in this matchup in the current meta. It's good, it's versatile. If you see the Yamato cannon upgrade, we'll know that he's going to be wanting to commit to a heavier Battlecruiser presence, which proves to be very, very valuable, especially in dealing with those queens. Yamato cannon is just such a great tool and allows that Battlecruiser to be so much more effective than it otherwise would be. Third hatchery is now secured for Silky and getting up and running at as we cross the 4.5 minute mark. Silky's getting into the main base here, getting a little bit more intel. We'll at least know that there's something coming out of a tech labbed starport. Doesn't know, of course, about this fusion core, so we'll see if he makes the correct assumption here, right? Some Spore Callers going to need to get invested in. It's possible he thinks it could be a Raven. It also, of course, could be a Banshee. Ooh, I love this push. I love this push. So with the armory coming down here, we know it's going to be Hellbats coming in from these Hellions. And the way this plays out is the Hellions push in, they turn into Hellbats, and the Battlecruiser teleports on top of them, and bing, bang, bow, they take down the Queens. All right, that's the playbook. Okay, that's what's written down. That's what Coach is calling right now. Let's see if Epic can do it. It's a fairly difficult one to execute correctly. If you mess up your positioning, if you move in too quickly with your Hellions, if you're not cautious with if you're overzealous with your Battlecruiser. Okay, so the Battlecruiser this time is going to go up to the main base. Okay, so he's drawing those queens up there. That's a lot of queens. Oh, man, a great response by Silky. Get out of there, battlecruiser. Run for the hills. It's not safe for you here. The Hellbats, meanwhile, they've found things very accommodating here in the third base, and they're going to march right into this mineral line. Ooh, they're quartering the drones. They're running out of room. Oh, man, the barbecue. Oh, toasting them up here and serving some nicely crisply fried drones here. Now the queen's going to come under fire. The banelings rolling forward. Getting not the best connections, but they're good enough. Now the Zerglies come through. These Hellbats are just going to try and trade out, but they were able to clean out an entire mineral line worth of drones. Now the queen in the main base. Ooh, almost gets taken down here as Epic comes back in with this battlecruiser. The queens are marching up there trying to get their way over there. Another battlecruiser is under production, but it's going to still be a bit of time before it's available. That SUV loses the luck of the RNG draw and does die. These Lings are doing a lot of damage here on the front of the wall. Good SCV pull, good repair. Looks like he will be able to hold on, but having to spend money to do so. Not exactly ideal. Only one Marine here to help clear these out at the moment. That battlecruiser returning home. The Baneling bust. Oh, here we go. Alright. Down goes the wall. The battlecruiser's teleporting in. Gonna try and get himself involved. There's the second battlecruiser as well. It will force those Banelings to detonate. And Epic will deal with that pretty finely. He's not going to take too much damage. Not really hardly any at all there. Just losing a couple supply depots and maybe a Marine or two. Not too shabby. Fourth base coming down now for Silky down in the bottom side. As creep spread continues to go out. Silky once again doing a very nice job as he drops that infestation pit. Looks to get himself set up for the next phase of this game. At the same time, getting his 1-1 for these Zerglings. And getting that centrifugal hooks for the Banelings will allow them to be significantly more lethal and significantly more entertaining to imagine being once they roll. I mean, really, if anyone who imagines themselves as a Baneling, who wants to walk around, right? Like, that'd be so... If you could roll... Dude, if I could roll like a Baneling, like to and from work, I would be rolling all day. Like, you could catch me rolling up the street, you know, like, there'd be like a whole market for like attire, haha, you know, like apparel that looks good while you're rolling. Rolling's the future, man. And I'm envious of Banelings for being able to experience it, even if it's just for a short time before they die. I guess it's the people that could roll, like if only some people were able to roll like Banelings, they would be they would either be really cool, or they'd be like the kids that wore Heelys like past high school. I knew a guy who was like 30 who had some Heelys. You thought they were awesome. Most other people did not. Battlecruisers are coming in now towards this main base. Do they have Yamato Cannon? I don't think they did. Yeah, no, Yamato Cannon was never taken. So these battlecruisers are just plain. This is highly unusual to have continued battlecruiser presence and no Yamato cannon. That force got completely caught out here. A few Marines and tanks were trying to make their way across completely unsupervised, and they indeed needed a crossing guard because they get taken out. Teleporting directly across the map now are the battlecruisers. They're trying to take advantage of the lack of queens on this side of the map. Good target fire from the Spore Crawler. Oh man. Almost took down that battlecruiser. Really nice awareness from Silky there to do that. Spore Crawler does fall. The battlecruiser's now just dueling with this Corruptor. The Corruptor gets the 360. The 180, whatever that was. Takes him out. Good transfuses keeping that Corruptor alive. This battlecruiser will try and run away. We'll see if he'll be able to catch it. 2-2 started up for both sides. Still just +2 melee for the Ling Bane on the ground. And battlecruiser production has completely ceased. So the lack of investment into that Yamato cannon proving why now. Because that was never the plan, right? And he's had this game plan in mind. He's executing to his game plan. This Marine tank force is not terrible. He's just down, you know, he's down 20 workers right now. In terms of income, what that means is, well, if my keyboard would work, I would show you. You know, in terms of what it means, it's going to be about 800 minerals, right? 800 minerals per minute. That Silky is getting more than him. It's going to mean about 300 more gas that he's getting than him. It's going to mean that he's going to have more hatcheries. He's going to have more money to make more units. And, oh man, almost getting that drop caught by some corruptors before they're even able to unload. And there's already an army waiting for him as well. Silky is on top of things right now. Down goes that medevac. Second medevac will fall here as well. The banelings get some nice connections. And he should be able to clean that up quite nicely. Meanwhile, Epic's committing his main force down towards the bottom side. And he's looking to take down this hatchery if he can. A couple of Zerglings are able to delay that fourth base for the side of Silky, or for the side of Epic, excuse me, and a run by trying to come in with the banelings. And he gets some not the best connections, really. Wasn't able to get too much done. Now here comes the main force for Silky. Actually coming in a couple of waves. The Ling Bane at the front. Not getting a ton done, but the second wave with a ton more banelings are finding the bio. And left in just little isolated pockets of resistance, Silky overwhelms this force. We'll be able to clear them out quite nicely. GG, Silky. A very convincing game number 2 there, as he is able to just keep him completely out of the way. Hey, thanks for the raid, Xenodactyl. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it didn't notify me for that. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Sorry I didn't catch that. I don't know why I didn't hear that in my ears. Game 3 will be coming up here in just a second, guys. Here, once StarCraft decides to let me hit play offline, then I gotta go to replays, go up a folder, game 3, watch. Here we go. I do want to give shoutouts, by the way, to Sugar for putting all these replays in a spoiler-free format. They're all inside a folder, so that way I can't see if there's actually a game in the folder or not until it's time to cast it. It's great. I never get spoiled. It's awesome. Shoutouts to Sugar. Is also the reason this tournament happens, the brains, brawn, and sex appeal of this whole operation. So, shoutouts to Sugar. As we're now here in the bottom right-hand side of Disco Bloodbath in the blue, it is Epic. Looking to bring the momentum back, and his opponent up in the top left in the red. Coming off a dominant performance there in Game 2, it's Silky. One might say it was a silky smooth performance. That was supposed to be like a drum kit. We used to have like a little voice thing that would do that. I have like...
Nice.
I have that, which is something. Yeah, I really am confused as to why it stutters in the beginning of the game. Every time, without fail. That's the only time it does it. I even had like Task Manager open that time, and I still don't know what it is. All right, so we have this base. It's mining, trucking away. It was a pull first this time, once again from Silky. This one, potentially, you know, it's... Let's see how many lings he actually commits to here. Let's see what his plan is for it. Because there are some earlier pools with a gas where we just see a couple Zerglings, and that earlier gas is used for a faster layer and faster Roach Warren instead of a fast speed. And okay, there it is. So there's a Roach Warren. And then I'm expecting this to be a fast layer. Coming out with this gas, I'd be very surprised if he gets speed here. Reaper on the way for Epic. That'll be key in spotting exactly what's going on here. So he needs to identify what's coming across quick. That SCV scout is huge in doing so. And let's see if the Zerglings spot it. Hopefully they do for Silky. He's been doing a very good job of being aware of these scouts so far. Ooh, but only has the 2 Zerglings following him. Looks like it will be able to get the scout. Ooh, he pulls the drones. He tries to kill it. Oh, does he? Okay, did he see it? He did. Okay. I was like, that was so close. But he sees it. Epic knows what's going on here. And those first 3 roaches are in the production tab. Just popped out. A bunker is getting thrown down on the low ground here above the natural. Zerglings getting cleaned up. tech lab onto this factory, going to allow him to start up that tank production. That'll be so very nice in helping clean this out. This is looking like a very nice situation for Epic. He has full knowledge of what's coming. He has his bunker set up. He's going to already have units in it. Silky coming through the center of the map, and it's going to be a tough ask for him to get much done on this side of the map. Reapers chasing down these Zerglings, clearing them out. So it's going to mean even less of a buffer for these roaches, and these roaches are going to be left to do what they can. Let's see what they can. What that is exactly. Moving forward here, but the Marines already open up on them. They're going to try and just go into this mineral line. Good SCV pull here, though, will keep them completely out of harm's way. He's going to start turning these guys into Ravagers behind the mineral line, as that one was very low. Try and save its health bar. The Marines are looking for the final shots. Won't quite be able to find it. He will lose a Marine for that. Cyclone is here now, and he is denying mining time right now, but really that's about it. That is about the only thing that Epic is gaining or that Silky is gaining right now, because he's about to lose his Ravager as well. The lockout comes through. It actually gets broken there. I don't know how that happened, but the rest of the army coming in now with the help of these SCVs, and they will finish clearing that out. Nice defense by Epic. Clear that out, no problem. This one Reaper is determined to take down this hatchery, and sooner or later he would. But Silky should be dealing with him shortly. Looks like he's going to send that queen over there. As the third orbital is finishing up for Epic, he is ready to secure this third base. Not too much longer after Silky did. Of course, also just going to be able to use it for extra SCV production until he does feel safe enough to land it on location. Him on the way now for Epic as he continues to play a pretty standard game, getting a reactor onto this factory, probably going to swap that onto the starport. He's securing his third base location. Playing things by the book. Fourth hatchery has been taken now for Silky. He's sending across a ling just to confirm that base has landed. And yeah, both players have pretty decent information. I'm just going to kind of wait and see what their next move is going to be. Chipping away. Taking down these rocks. We got Silky throwing down a macro hatchery up in the main base. 1-1 on the way for him as well. Again, getting that +1 melee. Going to be allowing these Zerglings to be a bit beefier. Alright, patrolling around the side. He's looking for his opportunity to come in. Scan goes through. Sees these guys coming forward and tries to target down that first queen. Kiting back down against the Zerglings. It's a good choke for this bio. Targeting down the Banelings. Beautiful target fire from Epic. Popping them like hotcakes. And now he's up on the top side of this high ground. Firing down. Gonna force Silky back onto creep. Silky's creep spread this game not as impressive as before. Epic been doing a little bit better of a job contesting it, keeping those queens elsewhere. Armory thrown down for him. He scans to clear out more of these creep tumors. Should be able to force a cancel this base as well. Okay, the Lings are moving down towards that bottom side. Satchery took a little bit of damage. Double drop coming up in the main, and they're going to start to unload. This drop escaping over the left-hand side. A few workers already falling here. And the Winnomine's in good position. This Roach Warren going to take some pretty severe damage. Should go down if he targets it. The Lings are very far away. Only just now starting to arrive, and they still have the Winnomines to get through. Oh my goodness, why did they burrow that? I feel like that was a great connection. Oh man, good job waiting for the shots to go through and holding his Zergling so far back. This is beautiful control by Silky. Oh man, until that last one. Why did I have to praise him? I cursed him, even though it's a replay. Oh man, yeah, that was a really good defense until he lost like 5 Banelings to that one connection. That was one less than ideal Winnomine hit for the side of Silky, as that same drop's going to go over to the left-hand side. Just a few Marines left alive from it. As another force is moving to the center for Epic, but it's not a very big one. Not exactly a scary force, I gotta say. You Winnomines though, looking for good connections. Okay, takes out a couple more Winnomines, takes out a couple more Zerglings. All right. Okay, those queens, they're very low. Good transfuses, so very nice. Baiting him forward there, transfusing at the last second. Excellent moves from Silky as he's staying on top of things, but that worker deficit has closed. We're at 70 to 71. Both players pretty even when it comes to economy right now, though there is still a higher income for the side of Silky. The Zergling is wrapping around the bottom side of this entire map and might be able to find their way into a mineral line as Epic continues to pressure the center of the map. So much of his army supply is in medevacs right now, though. He is almost exactly one medevac to every 2 Marines right now, and that is a absurd amount to have. He really is desperate for more bio right now, making 9 at a time, so should be able to catch, fix that problem. These Zerglings getting into this mineral line, though, and oh my goodness, they are nibbling away. And just at 70 before, and now at 58, losing quite a few there. The Zerglings are going to run back up towards the top center. Epic dropping in the top right base position as well. Trying to find some more damage and not really finding too much. Silky has been a little slow on the responses so far, though. These drops have been finding some nice opportunities, and trading out against these Zerglings, it is what they're looking to do, but those Widowmine shots, especially from these drops, have been absolutely phenomenal, and now Epic has arrived with the rest of his army, and he's going to be trying to press his advantage, try and take down this hatchery. The Widowmine shots are decent. The army of Silky is hesitating here, and some of it is going down towards the bottom left side, and they've abandoned this top right position. This hatchery will surely go down. He will be able to clear out this force in the bottom left. Meanwhile, a bunch of more Zerglings come in here to this mineral line, getting a few, taking him down to 54 workers from that 59 he was just previously. A lot of Banelings getting made here right in front of this force from Epic. And if he can shove through, if he can start getting some cancels on the cocoons, it'd be very nice. But it doesn't look like Silky will allow him the opportunity as he continues to just flood units out here on the front side, keeping Epic so far back. And now another Zergling force arriving here on the bottom side, starting to trade out against some of these Widowmines, keeping the space from landing for a little bit, but it will eventually start to get situated and starts that process of becoming a planetary fortress. Epic rolling some Banelings along the top side, looking for an exposed mineral line, looking for a lazy group of army units moving through. These Zerglings see the majority of the army, they see the upgrades, so he should know exactly what he's up against here and knows that it's on the bottom side as well. And so here come those Banelings. They roll on in. Oh man, and they get quite a few workers there at the third base. Getting a mule as well. Now Epic arriving on the other side, but the Banelings are ready for him. Those Widowmines, they do have drilling claws. They're trying to get set up, trying to get good shots, but a Baneling connection kills most of them. Only 2 left alive here on the front lines, it looks like. And that is just really suboptimal for Epic. He is on such a low unit count right now, 133 to 82, but so many of them are medevacs. They're not directly participating in this fight. Good concussive shells onto a lot of those Banelings, however, and that buys him quite a bit of space. A lot of Zerglings were up in that top right position responding to a drop, or just otherwise not with the main force, and that'll cost him this hatchery. as this drop up in the top center continues to draw attention and deal some nice damage. 4 Marauders loaded up in that, doing quite a bit of work as the Queen on the left-hand side gets involved. Here comes Silky, pushing through with these Banelings. He's trying to find some good connections, but the Marauders are slowing things down so much, and he's just trading out very, very well. Ultra continues to move forward, but it will get taken out. They do not quite have Kindness Plating, I don't believe, but they are very powerful all the same. But Silky is down to 40 army supply. He is still up pretty significantly in workers, but he loses another hatchery, now losing his top center one down to just the 4. Well, 5 if you include this macro hatch. Zerglings waiting for their opportunity here. They're going to start to dive in the second that army leaves. Trying to force Epic's hand, trying to buy himself more time as he desperately tries to reestablish that army that he had before. More Ultras getting made, more Zerglings getting added on. These Zerglings of Silky are catching almost all of these workers and forcing some of those rally points to get altered, forces them to go and defend that base before heading across the map. But cancel has to come through on that base once again, so it is still not going to be reestablished for Silky as Epic arrives in the center of the map now with over 100 army supply more than his opponent, and the Banelings almost all go down to that Widowmine shot. Epic is pushing forward, and that's going to be GG, as eventually he's able to wear him down through those multi-product attacks and bring down Silky. Very nicely done, as he takes him down in game 3. We're going to take just a quick little break while I am able to load into that game because it's giving me a hard time. And then we'll be right back with game number 4, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game 4 of Silky versus Epic. Thanks for watching. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American Apprentice round of 8. We are here in what could potentially be our final map of the day, as we are hopping in to game number 4 here on Ephemeron. We'll see what these guys have for us in the bottom right. In the blue, from Psystorm Gaming, it's Epic. Facing off against this guy on the top left. In the red, responding very well to this Proxy Rax, it's Silky. Already with a pull down, and the Proxy Rax has begun up in the top right. Obviously, Silky has no idea about it, but it's a pretty common map to go for it on. Let's see if this Overlord's pathing is good. Will it see the corner? And it will. Spots this Proxy. Great work by Silky. So he's going to have earliest possible knowledge that this is here. Oh, looks like he was considering sending a couple of drones over there, but realized they would not have arrived before the barracks was done. Epic starting up his marine production. The drones working on chasing him down. The Marines now joined up with him. We'll see if he's going to be able to get any bunkers down. Those 6 Zerglings going to be a very strong deterrent to anything permanent coming up from Epic. Factory on the way behind this. At home, the Roach Warren already thrown down for Silky. Roaches do such a phenomenal job at shutting this down when these Marines are in small numbers and against any early factory units. They just are really kind of a trump card here. And now the bunker is going to come down. Going to try and siege this down. Slowly but surely getting some damage. And if those bunkers finish, this could turn into a bit more. The Queen doing a very nice job targeting down that SCV. Ooh, and even going to be able to get the second one as well. Okay, so no bunkers, 100% guaranteed here. So Epic, you know, his time here is limited. He knows that. Trying to trade out as best he can, but finally canceling those bunkers, and is going to go ahead and try and return home. He's trying to keep these Marines alive. That's the most important thing for him. The Roaches are chasing them down. Finally, the Marines decide to turn and fight, trying to target one of them, but will be unable to do so. This base in some serious trouble down here on the low ground. He's getting a Cyclone on the way, which will, of course, be a great help and be very nice against these Roaches. Question is, will it be out in time before this base has to get canceled? It looks like it should be, so long as it's controlled well, and the Roaches are not going to be choosing to focus fire it here. Ooh, but a couple more coming over. The repairs are coming through. But with good focus fire, it could feasibly die here. The SCVs are pretty far away from it. Oh my goodness! Oh, down it goes. Oh no. That is very not good for Epic. Yeah, that is very, very bad, in fact. G, 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 G. All the G's. As, yeah, Silky will able to force a game number 5 there. Very nice job. Just a very nice read and response. You know, there's not really a ton I can really say about that. Just very well executed. So, now that will take us to game number 5, which we'll be getting into here in just a moment. Appreciate you guys hanging out for some nice Wednesday night StarCraft. Always a fun time doing the North American Apprentice. We have the round of 4 tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be getting started with that. 2 best of 5s between our semifinalists, and then on Saturday at, I believe, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have our grand finals. So the rest of this tournament happening this week, guys. It's super, super cool. Really would appreciate if you guys can come hang out to come and do so. Support the stream. Really means a lot, and we appreciate you. As we get into game now. And here for game 5, up at the top left-hand side in the blue, from Storm Gaming, he is Epic. His opponent down in bottom right-hand side in the red, and from Storm Gaming as well, it's Silky. Looking to keep up the smooth gameplay here and advance to the semifinals. 1 game away for either player. It all comes down to this. It's a main base getting saturated. It is a very standard opener. So they'll be keeping things calm here in the beginning minutes. Curious if Silky will go for another fast Roach run. It has been working out rather well for him, all things considered. Or if he will decide to mix it up. As my throat is going to completely close up while talking. This Overlord making his way across, going to be trying to check out what's going on. And with this Reaper coming out, it is going to mean a bit later of a factory. Going to mean that earlier expansion coming down. And again, just very normal stuff, right? Nothing unexpected. Epic is going to be making his way across, trying to see if Silky's being honest. We'll see if he's satisfied with what he's found. Reaper making his way over as the third hatchery comes through. So we'll be able to get that down nice and early. Not going to have that contested by this Reaper. Add-ons coming through for Epic. Very, very normal. This Reaper, let's see what he can get done. Ooh. Okay, almost lost the Reaper, but didn't. So it's fine. Everything is okay. Silky continuing to saturate this natural base. The starport has been added on for Epic. He is indeed going for the reactored Hellion play. And adding on a tech lab to this barracks. Feeling good, you know? He's got the world on a string. Hellions making their way across, going to be grouping up with that Reaper, see if they'll be able to get any creep tumors or anything killed here in the early game. A couple of queens available on the ramp to respond to this, and nothing available at the third base to be toasted, so it looks like they will just be kind of hanging out for now. Not going to be able to do too much. Epic setting up this wall, getting his medevac out first. So we'll be looking to be a bit aggressive, perhaps. Could be looking for another Hellion elevator into the main base, perhaps. Could be... Ooh, there's the armory. Okay, so yeah, I was going to say. Could also be that little bit older school of Hellbat push with this medevac. Something that was very common for a short time, and then... After that was the initial rise of battlecruiser openers, which led to a lot more queens being present in these early games, which makes this push a lot harder to execute, a lot more difficult to execute, especially if the queens are targeting down your medevac. Makes things very uncomfortable indeed. This Viking is arriving here now and going to start this push, and a few more units getting carried in that medevac here to assist. They do have concussive shells. They're going to try and chase out these queens. Can they close the gap? Oh my goodness, if those were Hellions, they could have really toasted that. Marching into this mineral line, they're getting on top of the cocoons. The Bailings aren't finishing here in Game 5, and Epic is alive in the natural base mineral line, and he's shredded through the Zerglings. The army supply is plummeting for Silky. The Hellbats pushing forward. The Marauders doing so much work on the back, keeping them slowed down. And all the queens are dead here at the natural. Most of the drones were able to escape, however, and there's 26 more Zerglings on the way. 2 Banelings on the ramp, not able to get the best connections. The Hellbats running low on health in the center of your screen, but they stay alive and they get Silky out of the game, as Epic will take this series 3-2 here to round out our night in the round of 8 for the North American Apprentice. Congratulations, Epic, as he qualifies for the round of 4. And we'll round out our semi-finalists. Congrats to all of them. That is going to be, again, guys, let's go over there. It's Rays rounding out the top of our semifinals versus Asuna. We've got Future taking on Epic here in the other side of the bracket. It's super awesome, guys. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we'll be doing those games tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on this channel. So please drop a follow if you haven't, guys. And yeah, you know, make sure to be back here tomorrow. Appreciate your faces. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be throwing the host over to Future playing some games. So I'll just start to a quick intermission screen while I go and find his stream and make sure he's actually streaming. But he looks like playing some games on the balance patch. It should be a ton of fun. And yeah, I encourage you guys to check him out if you haven't. And if you haven't, then I mean, first of all, what are you doing? Gotta get in on that. Man, English is hard, man. It's a hard language. Tough to say. Alright, thanks so much for watching, guys, and peace out.